Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, apologies for the technical issues.
All right. So it's right now.
Yeah, so this is Spyro 3, You're the Dragon. Dact is going to be doing 100 egg, which is essentially the no major skips category. If you watched the run last year, we ran any %, which involves a major skip into the sorceress. This category does not allow for that, so Dact is going to have to be collecting 100 eggs to open the final boss door.
Yep. The eggs, you get them for beating challenges and mini games, for beating levels, and some of them are just sliding on the ground like that.
There's 6 eggs in each level, and there's 150 eggs total, so Dact is going to have to be getting most of them to get to the sorceress.
Yeah, I think there's only like 146 that you can get before you beat the game as well, so you do get most of them. All right. I guess someone can explain.
All right. You want to explain the enemy proxy, Wood?
Sure. So right here, what he's going to do is an enemy proxy.
I'll go for this one more time.
Okay. So what is done with this proxy is, so when Spyro is charging, Spyro has a very different hitbox that allows him to go straight through enemies. And of course, when he's not gliding, or when he's gliding or he's walking, his hitbox gets pushed off by enemies. So when you charge in the air and you press the X button, you end up gliding for a frame, which we use to change our hitbox well inside of an enemy's hitbox to propel ourselves really fast in different directions.
Yeah.
In which most of the times we'll be going upwards.
Essentially, the game, when you're stuck inside something that you're not supposed to be inside, you get pushed out, and then we can carry that momentum into a charge to get propelled. But I didn't quite get it there, which is a shame, because it's one of the most important ones.
You'll hopefully be seeing a lot more.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them that I'll be going for.
I think I counted yesterday.
There's one.
All right.
Yeah.
So that skips a little cutscene at the end, saves like 10 seconds or something.
Thank you for rest.
I believe I counted yesterday. Optimally, there's about 17 proxies.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
All right,
For
so
proxy ones.
there actually is a thing with eggs. Dact can't just pick up whatever eggs he wants. There are actually some of them that are required. All of the main levels have an end-of-level egg where you speak to an NPC and then they return to the homeworld. Dact needs all of those because otherwise he's not going to be able to get to the next hub world.
Yeah, we would probably get all of them anyway.
I imagine
because
so.
They're pretty fast, but
Yeah.
it's just something that kind of determines the route.
Okay, so there's a skip coming up here. The idea here is Dact is hopefully going to use the momentum of this bellow going up in order to charge jump out of bounds. And then he'll be going into Sun Seeds. So he did just fly into a wall, but that's actually a portal by the end of level. Most of the side area portals in this game will bleed slightly bigger than they actually look. So you can abuse that to enter them from the back, the top, the bottom. You'll be seeing a lot of out-of-bound portal entries in this run.
Yeah, for some reason they made the side area loading zones really, really big, like way bigger than necessary.
Yeah.
Which is nice for us. So this is one of the longest egg challenges in the run, I think. You need to escort 3 sun seeds into the bowl, I guess. It's just movement optimization.
Now that's...
Something kind of weird about this level is most of the time in this game you skip cutscenes using the start button, but this is the only level in the game that you're allowed to skip cutscenes using the triangle button.
Yeah, it's weird. If you try and skip with start, you'll sometimes just pause the game. It's very odd. But yeah, so that was an end of level egg. We'll be getting all of those.
So up in the bell towers here, there's a thief that's running around that has an egg, and while Dact is doing these bell tower spirits, he's going to also be attempting to set up the thief in a good spot to where he can get him almost instantly after picking up the bell towers egg.
Yeah, the movement at the end there manipulates the thief to be in the right spot, and then if I do this right, you just stomp him immediately.
Then another thing we do here is we jump right before we exit the area, which causes us to actually...
Yeah, you more or less just maintain the jump momentum through the portal. As long as you pause while you're still going up, you get a little bit of a boost when you fall out and can make the glide too. Skip a little bit of platforming there.
Yeah. Otherwise, if you just straight up exited, you would be too low and
Yeah,
you
you'd
wouldn't be able to
fall
land
straight
those
down.
platforms.
Alright.
Okay, so next we're going to be going to Sheila's Alp, but Sheila costs gems, and we don't have a whole lot of gems right now, so we're going to need to be skipping into her. The trick to this is going to involve a swim in air, but to get out of bounds, Dact is going to be doing a trick that we call whirlwind bypass. To do this, there's a lot that goes into this, but more or less he's going to be using the Superfly power-up to do a Superfly double jump to get out of bounds, and then he's going to charge the water plane, which will trigger the swim. But since there's no body of water located below the plane, he's just going to be swimming in the air.
Yeah, the swim triggers in this game tend to be larger than necessary, and so if you can hit them out of bounds, you can get the swim state without being inside where the water's supposed to be.
And then just enter from below. All the portals in this game, whenever they're not active, are stored directly below wherever they're supposed to be in the home world. I guess so they don't have to make an additional loading time. They can just move them up instead. But we can abuse that to get into them early. So now he's Sheila, who's a kangaroo.
Yep.
Do you want to explain Sheila's movement? What?
Sheila's movement is generally pretty straightforward. There's a lot of momentum issues with turning and such, but that doesn't really matter much.
Yeah, it's all pretty straightforward. You kick to cancel your jump momentum. You kick when you go off ledges to fall faster.
One of the optimizations we do is whenever there's like a really high jump, we kick to make it so the jump goes a little bit lower, which we only have to do once in 100.
These rhinos. Yeah, so this level's pretty random. There's the very first egg NPC can take different amounts of times to get to his position where he gives you the egg, and then the enemies in the cave are random, and then the enemies out here are random as well, so it's a big mess.
Yeah, it's
We get the eggs out of order here as well. This is the third egg of the level, but if we'd got the second one second, we'd have had to wait for the NPC to walk all the way through the cave, and it ends up being faster to backtrack like this.
Hey, Sheila.
Can probably do a donation or two.
Well, I'd love to. We got a $20 donation from Retro239 saying, "This is your boy Retro here, sending all my luck to Dactyly on the controller right now, who I am a huge fan of. Keep collecting those eggs, brother."
Thanks, Retro. Alright, so I guess I'll explain Ball Proxy now. At the start of the level I'm about to enter, there'll be another proxy, hopefully. This one's a bit different from the one in Sunnyvilla. The boar has an animation where he kind of puffs up as he's running, and that animation pushes you in a similar way to getting ejected out of a corpse would, and if I do this right...
Nice. Thankfully, the boar's in a really good spot when you enter the level that you don't really have to do anything too difficult. It's more or less just a charge and then a glide and then another charge at the right time.
Yeah, the inputs are pretty straightforward and it just becomes muscle memory. It's not too tight, so... And even better, you get 2 attempts before it starts losing time.
Yep. So he's going to be doing this level backwards. The boar proxy is nice because otherwise you have to pay money bags to get into this area. And this was I think one of the last money bags that got removed from the run.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, whenever boar proxy got found. We used to collect 300 gems to get into this and do the level forwards, but it's much faster to do it backwards.
Oh, nice camera.
And then here's another bleeding portal. This one bleeds out the top. We don't have Sergeant Bird yet, obviously. You're intended to be backtracking after you collect him in the second world, but just jump on top instead.
Oh, nice. Sergeant Bird movement's a bit weird.
Yeah.
You can explain that.
Yeah, he has a whole level later that will explain
Yeah, well,
that.
there's nothing else to do in Bird's level.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is the end level egg, and then we have to backtrack through to get an egg that's kind of in the middle of the level. If I'd failed Boar, I would have got that egg first, and then Death Abuse to get back to the start of the level, and gone for Boar again. And I'd have been able to just quit after the end level egg I just got.
Doing that actually saves a couple seconds, but you obviously don't want to bank on missing a proxy.
Yeah. Alright, that was pretty good. Missed the early thieves, but...
Yeah, no, this is good.
So next is actually the longest level in the run. You will be grabbing every egg here, and there's a lot of side areas.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, kind of long mini-games in this level, but they end up being just worth it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Are you going to go for the proxy in this level?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there'll be another proxy hopefully in this level where the shelled Rhinox, the way they work is whenever you charge the shell, they pop out. So if you charge the shell and then jump into where they're spawning immediately, you can get a proxy, which hopefully Dact will be getting here to skip into the Sheila area.
It's not too precise, but the setup's a bit strange. So yeah, that was also strange.
A little thing that's interesting about this game is if you charge into a wall, you will bonk for about a second, but if you charge jump, you bonk for a much shorter time.
Yeah.
Which is what gives us enough time to be able to get a proxy off of one of the Seashell Rhinos.
Never mind.
Yeah, you can see Dact got like a forward proxy there instead of upwards. You can get proxied in a lot of different directions. It's just all dependent on the timing of the proxy inputs.
Yeah, usually if you get a forward proxy, it's because you hit the button a little bit too late. There's an example of kicking to cancel your jump momentum. And then we do a jump over the hill here to skip talking to the seals, if I can get it. Sorry, I've been having so much trouble with this recently. There we go.
Yeah, it also skips the timer from spawning, I believe,
Yes.
which is not going to be relevant, but it is nice to know.
You can actually crash in these.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can in theory. I've never got. It seems to depend on console version, and I've never got it on this console. So
It tends to happen more often if you end up doing a quick kill for a cannon, meaning you hit a cannon in the middle of a head bash instead of while you're going down.
Yeah.
And it usually has to be one of the front cannons.
Yeah. You can also mitigate it by, or at least seemingly mitigate it by picking up the gems that spawn. Some people theorize that it has something to do with too many things being on screen, so if you pick up the gems, there are less things, so...
yeah, because it never ever happens in 117 where you collect all the gems. So. All right, so coming up next is Bluto. He's a mini boss. Hopefully I can pull off the strat. You need a whole lot of ammo to kill him. You need like 4 boxes
You
plus
need 15 shots.
Yeah, it's like the one you get at the start plus another 4 boxes. But I want to kind of do it so that I'm always hitting him.
Yeah, you need to be taking damage boosts in this fight as well to prevent Bluto from doing too much things to waste time. So it's going to be a scary fight.
Alright, so hopefully if I've done this right, I can just park here and just spam him, and the box will spawn underneath me, like that.
Nice.
There we go. And there's a little water tunnel thing here. We can probably do a donation during this.
Yep.
It's pretty easy.
Well, we do have a $150 donation from Shearmaster saying, first-time donation. Been watching for a few years already, though. Donation goes to next runner's choice. I think that's going to be you, Dactyly. So what is your donation choice, actually?
I have barely looked at the incentives.
All right. Well, you think about that.
Yeah.
We have time for another one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, we've got another $150 from Easyscape saying, the Spyro trilogy is my favorite game series ever made, and I always look forward to seeing it at Games Done Quick. Wish I could be there to watch it live, but there's always next year. Good luck and have fun, Dactyly. Also, donation to Announcer's Choice, DS Dad, Pre-Gasm. And my donation incentive is Metroid Fusion 0%.
Oh,
What was the there was like a soundtrack donation for a Sonic game?
Yes, there's a soundtrack, there's a donation challenge for a Sonic CD. The Japanese soundtrack is leading at $813, or the US soundtrack at $423.
Sure, put that to US soundtrack.
US soundtrack.
Okay, so once you've finished all 5 of the main levels in a hub, you'll get teleported to the vehicle that'll take you to the next one. But in between each world, you have to fight a boss. This
Listen
hub's boss is
carefully.
Buzz, and thankfully he's pretty easy. Wed, do you want to explain how Buzz works?
So, Buzz in this game, the strategy that we use a lot in this fight is to make sure Buzz stays very close to the edge of the level. And to do that, we, of course, stay right next to the edge of the level. What this does is it cuts that buzzsaw animation that you see right there. It stops him from being able to do that and reach you with it. Another thing that we're doing is we're manipulating the camera so that, because after 2 hits, Buzz has a fire ring that spawns around him every time he stops using his buzzsaw attack. And with the camera angle, that doesn't spawn, so we can just charge him anyway.
Yep. The attitude this game takes a lot is that if something isn't on camera, it isn't happening. So by rotating the camera away, you can just prevent Buzz from doing anything, more or less.
Yeah.
There is also some subtle manipulation there to make sure we spawn closest to the balloon.
Is there?
Yeah, there is. There is.
All right.
It's just not really
Take your word
noticed.
for it. All right, so I'll be doing a trick at the start of this level. There's kind of 2 routes for this homeworld. I'm doing the slightly faster, but I guess slightly riskier one, because this trick can be a bit annoying. Nice. Yeah, Bianca's hitbox stays longer than she does. Oh, come on. Nope. Alright, that's a shame. Oh, come on. This doesn't usually take this long. I swear this never happens. Oh, come on. I'll go one more time and then I'll just go around and do ICP first. There we go.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, so that's the so-called bridge swim route. It takes a little bit more work because it's a little harder, but it does save about, what, 8 seconds?
Something like that, yeah.
So it's definitely worth going for.
And then these pots here, you have to kind of hit this one from long range and then hit that one once the first fireball's connected. Just because the egg always spawns out of the last one you hit. So. And then we also took the opportunity to open Enchanted Towers, which we would have had to do later anyway.
And then most of the scenery isn't solid the higher up you get, so you can just go out of bounds through the rock and then swim into Sergeant Bird.
Yeah, and that's the same deal as when we went into Sheila's level earlier. The portal is stored out of bounds underneath.
Alright, so here we got Sergeant Bird. Movement is pretty interesting in this level because we are actually strafing everywhere. Usually when you play through this game, you wouldn't be strafing, and movement is very clunky and very slow. But when you hold both the shoulder buttons, you kind of just zip across the
Yeah,
screen.
it's weird. Like it locks your direction, but it also makes you like fly faster. And so it's both. It's faster, and in my opinion, it's easier to control as well because you don't need to worry about turning. You can just go in the direction you want to go.
So yeah, a lot of this level is just strafing and angle snapping.
Yep. Had to take it a bit slow through one of those rooms because if you go too fast, this bird sometimes doesn't follow you, and you just end up having to go back, and you look like an idiot. Yeah, we only get 2 eggs in that level. There's one more egg that you can get, but it's pretty slow. You have to rescue a whole bunch of birds from around the place.
Yeah, the side characters levels only have 3 eggs apiece, and the last one is generally pretty slow.
This is cool. The little quick thief snipe there. If you aim at the tree and then flame charge, she runs right in front of you.
There will be another proxy coming up at the start of this level.
There might be.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
I've been missing this a lot recently.
Yeah, the inputs for this one are a little different. He's not going to be flaming at all. He's just going to be charging into the croc and then charge jumping into its hitbox.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
Nice.
good.
Okay, I got the backup. That's actually the first time I've ever got that backup. Never done that before. All right.
Good
And
game.
I got wrong camera for what I wanted there. I probably didn't even save time to do this route. But yeah, that's the loneliest glitch. If you look away from the NPC that gives you that egg, the egg spawns underneath you. I've got no idea why, but it looks funny.
I'm going to flop up the tree, and then this is the last egg.
Yeah, so if I hadn't got the Croc Proxy, I wouldn't have gone for it again. You can just go and do a different route through the level. It's a little bit slower, but not a huge deal. And then we have another proxy at the start of the next level. It's I guess it's a squeeze proxy on the scenery.
Yeah, this one's completely new. I don't think we've seen squeeze proxies yet.
Nope.
What, do you want to explain squeeze proxies?
Sure. So squeeze proxies, they work whenever there's a space that is too small for Spyro to fit inside of, but we physically wedge him inside of there to...
Yeah, like they move the boulder and you kind of squeeze yourself in there while it's happening. And
Oh,
or
no.
or you don't.
All right.
I was tempted to Death Abuse to do that again, but it's
Yeah,
way
this
too much
isn't too
time.
bad in this category to miss that.
That sucks. That's like really, really easy. Okay.
Yeah, the analogy people like to use for squeeze proxies is, the bar of soap in your hands. The tighter you squeeze it, and then eventually it shoots out. That's more or less what happens to Spyro.
And then we skip the bridge here. You're supposed to kill a bunch of enemies and get a bridge to appear, but you can just kind of jump out through the water and get up there.
And here's the easiest swim and air in the game. I think a lot of people found this playing the game as kids.
Yeah, you
just charge.
swim up to the edge and hit square, and you.
Also, that is the egg for the thief in this level after you beat the level, but they decide to just store the egg trigger right there.
Yeah, it's weird. Once you get this egg here, there's supposed to be a thief that spawns, but for some reason they just store the egg underneath that bridge.
Yeah, I imagine that's where the thief is supposed to spawn, because they like to store things right below where they spawn, so.
Yeah, you might be right. I haven't seen that thief in years. It's a really annoying one to chase.
All right, so Enchanted Towers is next, and we're actually only going to be getting 2 eggs in this level. All of the other ones either require skateboarding or some other really long side area.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sequence breaks you can do in this level, but none of them are useful in this category. Just because there's this egg like halfway through the intended path that kind of need to get because it's fast. Yeah, some little shortcuts to avoid going through the tunnels, but other than that, it's all...
You can skip to the end of this level if you wanted to, but the egg is almost exactly in the midpoint of the level, so it wouldn't really save any time.
Also, rip headphone users in advance.
Turn your volume down.
Yep.
No, turn the volume up.
Up.
Of course.
Okay, so there is a thing with this guy. If you're standing where the game is supposed to teleport you after the statue breaks, then it saves a little bit of time on the teleport.
Yeah, it's weird. Teleporting seems to have a travel time. If you're stood there already, you teleport quicker. But yeah, for some reason they just messed up the audio balancing on those rockets. It didn't sound too bad through my headphones, but I don't know how it was on the stream. And then coming up is one of the hardest levels in the run, I'd say, ICP.
The hardest, I would say.
I don't know, Fireworks gives it a...
Fireworks is pretty hard too,
Yeah.
It's top 3 for sure.
Definitely top 3. Right, so there's a level skip that Dact is going to be attempting here. It's not super complicated how it works, but it's a very tight charge jump that you need to make here. You need a really good charge jump and a really good hover.
And it's renowned for not working in marathons.
This
looks
looks
pretty
good.
Oh, he hovered early.
To its cruise.
That jump was fine. I just hovered early. That's a shame.
Yeah. One of the really annoying features, I guess, in this game is that the developers implemented a system where if you jump too close to the edge, you get a shorter jump than you would intend to get. I guess it's to prevent things like this from happening.
Yeah, like, it's only just reachable. But that's got to be it. Yeah.
Nice.
easy.
Okay. Right. So this side area is very weird. So he grabs the red one first, which is not what is intended. And then if you grab the red one first, you can respawn the yellow one just by turning the camera and grab him instantly.
Yeah, for some reason getting them out of order just breaks the AI. And just make it spawn on top of your flame.
There's also some movement tech up those stairs that you won't really see anywhere else in the run, but is done a lot more in the first Spyro game, which are charge glides.
Yeah, this start of the glide animation is pretty slow, but if you just charge, you'll bonk on the walls, and so you charge to get the speed, and then just cancel it with a glide, and you don't bonk. That's a shame. So you see what I was trying to do there? That's a pretty tight jump.
Yeah.
But then you get to see this as
There's
well.
a back
which
up
is
here,
cool,
yeah.
If I get it. All right.
Nice.
There we go.
And this is a pretty tough trick here too. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, we haven't. That's the first spin jump, I think.
Yeah.
So the way that works is that Spyro gains altitude slightly if you start turning near the top of his jump. So you can abuse that to get on top of that crystal. It's sort of a misnomer, spin jump.
Yeah, it's more the case that his hitbox is weirdly shaped. So his hitbox is like higher at the back where his tail is. And so if you jump with his like facing away from the ledge, you can get the tail, like the back of his hitbox, up on the ledge.
Yeah.
And then if you turn, you just kind of slide up on there. All right. Good boss.
Yeah. This is, for a lot of runners' opinions, like the only really good boss in the game, since the other ones are either filled with RNG or kind of boring, like Buzz.
You can get 4 rocks there, but since it spawned next to me, I decided not to wait.
Yeah, this boss has 9 HP. It's
That's
intended
not
to
good.
be 3, 3, and 3, with the rocks, the flame, and then one last power up.
No, oh, that was a bad decision. God damn. All right.
This boss is, for a lot of people's opinions, the hardest boss in the game. It's very easy to die to this boss, and his shots also are sort of lead. So if you just keep charging, a lot of the time you're going to get hit. You have to sort of, flip directions a lot to dodge the shots.
You gotta weave around the
Yeah.
shots a lot.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he jumps, the rocks break, but if you're really fast, you can get the 4th one off if it's in a good spot.
There are also very rare occasions where he will jump and the rocks just won't break for no reason. Now, something that we didn't actually mention are version differences.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So, right now, Dact is playing on the 1.0 copy of this game, so the very original release, which, for one, spawns you at the edge of the map for Spike, as well as it doesn't give any Spike cutscene. So, as you saw when he left Midday Gardens to go to Spike, there was absolutely no cutscene, and then, of course, he spawned way at the edge of the arena. But with the right positioning, you can actually charge jump out of getting the egg and glide. Another one of the version differences will hopefully not have to be used later.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some scenery in here that in this home world that is different on 1.0, but if everything goes to plan, I won't need to use it.
There's also some other minor things, like the death plane is higher, and
Some
also
music.
there's some music differences as well.
Yeah,
Okay,
basically all
too
music
loud.
is
Should
night.
probably be quiet for this.
No, I need one, okay. Oh,
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, all those
That's-
mistakes earlier on, that paid off.
Yeah, that is the hardest proxy in the run,
Effort.
barring a couple that
It saves,
basically nobody does.
Saves around 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes up for Sunny Villa. So yeah, saves about 35 seconds, and each time you fail it, it loses like 10. So it still saves time to like death abuse over if you have enough lives.
Okay, so here's Agent 9 movement. He's the side character with probably the best movement in the game.
Most interesting.
Most interesting, yeah.
Oh my god, okay. Please get some speed. There we go.
So right now what Dak is doing is he's holding down the L1 button and mashing the R1 button like crazy, which increases your speed every time that you end up strafing back and forth like that.
Yeah.
One funny thing about this area is that you can actually enter with Spyro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you hold square and you pause on the right frame, you can pause buffer through Agent 9's text box and then death abuse inside of the room so that you
I'm gonna get this
spawn
life
back.
just for safety.
as
I
spawn
should have
back.
got it at the start.
Yeah, there's two side areas you can do that trick in. One of them isn't useful, but this one definitely is, especially in 117 when you need the gems.
The other one is the Sheila area in Seashell Shore.
So is Agent Spyro any faster, or?
No,
No,
it's actually
it's
slower.
It's just more consistent.
It really just depends how good your zigzagging is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Taz doesn't do.
Agent Spyro was probably faster than what I just did there, but if I'd done it well, it would have been alright.
So hopefully we'll be skipping most of this area.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That damage boost saves about 8 seconds, I believe, over going around.
Yeah, for some reason that is completely free on the PAL version, but
You jump
PAL loses
just,
a bunch of time elsewhere.
You jump just slightly higher
Yeah.
on PAL, so it allows you to get up there. And it requires a lot more manipulation on NTSC.
Yeah, you have to kind of move around to get the enemy in the right spot. But yeah, that was okay fireworks.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll take that.
That was, yeah.
Better than my best set.
Same.
Yeah, Firefly's cheating.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So this level's pretty straightforward. It's basically like an escort mission. You have Crazy Ed, who you talk to at the start, and you have to escort him through the level. But then at the end, we'll see something interesting. Probably do a donation here, actually.
Well, we've got plenty of donations to choose from. We got a $100 donation from Phoenix926 saying, had to donate during my favorite game series. $1 for each egg. Also, take a lesson from Spyro and torch the animals.
Wow.
I can keep them coming.
Yeah, one
Go
more
for it.
fine.
One more. One
Becky
more.
Chan gives us $53.40 and says, hey Dak, good luck on your mission to save the baby dragons. And if you can spare 5 seconds on the way, please show world record proxy.
I
course we're
will.
doing
I will.
that.
Smaller than 3.
Shoutouts to Becky. I think she's doing commentary on the German restream, so shoutouts to them. All right, so you get the end level egg here, and then we're gonna grab one more egg, which is just through the through the
Frame perfect X input.
yeah. If you swim through here, and then you'll notice I have no health. That's intentional. I'm going to do a little trick at the end after I get this egg. Nice.
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 Yeah, so the way this works and what's happening here is that there's a slight delay between when the game registers Spyro as dead and whenever you actually die. There's a frame difference. So now he's in a sort of a zombie-esque state where the game has flagged him as dead, but he can still move around and stuff. And a lot of this is going to be used for not being able to switch states, swimming in particular. So since he spawned in the water, the game can't flip you between swimming and not swimming. So you can use that to swim in air. And then since you get the Zoe zap whenever you're swimming, you respawn as swimming as well, and you can swim around an Evening Lake.
Yeah, we Death Abuse there because Zombie has some some effects we don't want as well, so we need to get rid of those. But we get to keep the swim in there because we got checkpointed.
Yeah, if you enter Bentley with Zombie, like you cannot actually get past.
You can,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, you can.
It's just hard.
Okay,
So,
and it's hard.
Yeah.
We watched the cutscene on this egg. Every time I've got an egg so far, I've been hitting start to skip the little cutscene. But for that one, if you don't skip it, when you get the egg from out of bounds, you get to stay out of bounds. But if you skip the egg cutscene, you get pushed back in bounds. It's very strange.
Yesterday we actually did a race, and I managed to get stuck in the very plane of the ground.
So weird.
So I couldn't actually swim back down.
Yeah, so this is Bentley. Bentley smashes things, and that's about all Bentley does.
Yeah, the I guess the only real speed tech here is the manipulation on the seals. I'm kind of controlling my camera in a particular way to get the seals up here to be on good cycles. They always start the same, so it's consistent. They only advance in their cycle while you're looking at them.
As you said before,
Oh,
if it's not on camera, it's not happening.
good one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right, here comes World Record Proxy.
Yeah. Oh, what? Alright. So you can just go and hit this gong, and you get stuck in the scenery, and then you hold down, and
World record.
that doesn't save time, but it's, but it's cool.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah.
Have you
I'm
timed
pretty
it?
sure that looks
I have
fast.
not timed
All
it.
right.
I'll give- Even if you could like proxy over the archway there, Bartholomew wouldn't follow you. So
You can actually go on top of the crate and skip past it, but yeah, without Bartholomew there, you can't get the end of level egg. Double face? No.
Thanks, bro.
all right.
Alright, so next up is Frozen Altars, which is a fun level.
Yep,
It has the best side area in the game in it.
of course.
It's all right. 44 incoming.
It is known as push square to win.
Yeah.
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 But before that, I've got to do Mammoth
Mammoth.
Proxy, which
Yeah.
isn't too hard, but it really sucks if you fail it.
Yeah.
It's the only one I can do.
Yeah, it's a pretty standard enemy proxy, but the Mammoth hitbox is pretty huge, so.
Damn.
There
Nice.
Nice.
So yeah, that skips lowering the ice wall and then going around in a big loop. We can use the ice breath we get in this level to make platforms. That's fine.
Yeah, and you can charge jump off that scenery as well. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. You don't have to time a charge jump or anything. You just hold down square and X and pretty much get it as long as you're at the right angle.
Yep. And then yeah, this is boxing.
This is a mini game.
I knew
It sure
you.
is.
Go and show him not to mess with
Reminder
us.
to hold up
Lock his
afterwards.
eye punches and
Oh,
hit
yeah.
him low when he
I did
tries
say I
to
would
rock.
do that.
Yeah, so really the only strategy here is just to tap jab rhythmically.
Just-
Anything else is too complicated.
It's giving me good RNG.
Yeah, this is
right now.
nice.
Yeah.
No 44 though.
41.
41.
That's a
That's
really
pretty
good.
good.
one, yeah. Clap for RNG.
It's not RNG.
You should go back and kick.
Oh, nice. Boxing.
And I forgot to do. I forgot to.
Yeah, boxing 2 isn't actually that slow if you can do it in one round, but that's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping out.
There's actually something kind of funny with boxing. If you do hold up after the fight, Bentley will move a little ways forward, and he will spawn, or the egg will spawn inside of him. So he'll do like this really weird dancing animation.
Yeah, I completely forgot. My apologies.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, so Charmed Ridge has, well, we'll get the egg in the whale first, but then after that, Charmed Ridge, which is
one of the other hard levels.
Yeah, I think Challenge Ridge is really, really fun, but it's hard. Like, things can go very wrong. So there'll be a proxy at the very start here that, if I get it, it won't save very much time. It's like 5 seconds or something, but it's still cool. And it avoids having to do a pretty annoying jump.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so that's fine.
You missed it. How are you going to make it up to the spot now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If only there were a way to just like glide through the wall or something.
Yeah. Turns out there's some.
Oh, it turns out there is.
Yeah, yeah. Some of that wall is just not solid. No idea why.
Yeah, the annoying jump is to jump up to this first egg, because the cat wizard can snipe you sometimes and knock you right off the edge.
Yeah. Alright, so I'll go for another one up here to get to the mushrooms, or I guess Jack and the
Hey.
beanstalk. There we go.
Nice.
Not even going for the horizontal one there.
Please stop.
Proceeds from a bear with a bag of candy.
All right, so these shrooms have some really weird properties to them. You can get boosted jumps on them by charging at the, like right as you're starting to bounce on them. You can get a lot of extra height here, which we'll hopefully be using. Nice. Just to skip a fair bit of this puzzle.
Yeah. And the spin jumps onto these mushrooms are not trivial. The mushroom hitbox isn't the same all the way around, and so there's certain angles that you can go for it that are easier, but it still takes a lot of practice, I find.
Here's another boost jump.
Nice.
There we go.
Are you going for the end of level proxy?
I think I have 3 lives, so yeah, sure.
All right.
We'll see in a moment. No, never mind. Yeah,
Two.
maybe.
Yeah, you have
that's
plenty.
not so
Yeah,
good.
you can do like one.
All right.
Nice. All right.
All right, so that saves about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's like 11.
11?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Don't mind me. I don't
Yeah.
really do it that much.
Yeah, but it skips going around and flaming an enemy and getting a little cutscene, and yeah, it's...
But yeah, you take a death if you just completely whiff it, so
Yeah.
it's risky. All right, so next is Scorch. This is the worst boss in the game, probably?
Nah, it's like...
No,
No, you don't think so?
sorcerers.
Oh,
It's tough. It's a tough call
it's,
between them.
yeah,
I don't know, I feel like I can actually do something in Sorcerer.
yeah, I
Well,
agree.
yeah, I guess. This fight is basically RNG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like 2 different random elements in this fight. You have the weapons that Bentley gives you, and you have the attacks that Scorch does. We're looking for red rockets, so Bentley will throw us some rockets, and we're hoping for the red ones.
Yeah, the red ones give you 50
No,
ammo,
nice, yeah.
and the green ones give you 1, and they do the same amount of damage.
Yeah, it's completely stupid. The green one's home, like in air quotes.
Sort of,
But,
yeah.
but that's still useless. You definitely want reds, because you can get these double hits as well, where you can hit him before he moves.
The better pattern for Scorch to shoot is actually he's shooting the fire things as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, the energy balls are the best pattern. Enemies take a long time.
He has different like wait periods after his different
Yeah.
attacks. So.
Most of the time when we end up judging the amount of time, it's the number of flaps that he does. I think it's 1.5 for the fireballs.
That was a pretty good score.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
good.
that was
Take
good.
that. All right. Can probably go with donation.
Well, we've got plenty to choose from. We got Boxwolf gave us $5 and said, first time donation, long time watcher. I can't tell you how excited I am to see this speedrun of one of my favorite childhood games with such nice folks. I also noticed an extreme lack of puns. Better not drag on this comment for too long. Good luck, Dactyly.
Thank you. Alright, so Crystal Islands is fairly straightforward. Like, I guess it's not. The route is all over the place.
Yeah.
But we'll be trying to get swim in as soon as possible because the eggs are all kind of scattered around in difficult locations to reach without swim. The swim here is very strange. I guess I'll just do it, and yeah,
That's
someone
the
else
best
can
way
try
to describe
explain
it, really,
yeah.
just to do it.
Would you like to see?
So you kind of wedge yourself under this crystal thing and wait for it to push you down, and then you'd swim, and it pushes you out from the water, and you get swimming out.
Yeah. There's some other ones you can do in this stage where you sort of swim and then the animation pushes you past the terrain. It's similar to that, although the gem one is definitely more difficult.
And then that's a thief that is really, really annoying if you miss that early hit. And then we head over to the end level egg. For some reason, this NPC has a humongous talk box. And so you can land all the way over here, and it'll still talk to you and give you the egg. And then you just go straight into the side area.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different skips for this slide.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to go for the usual one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just going for the basic one. So there's the original one, of course, that he's doing right now, which just saves quite a
Fall
bit
right
of
off
time.
there, and
Yeah.
you end up near the end.
12.4.
Another one that saves like an additional 2 seconds would have been to go up on the edge around that bend, and you would be able to drop off earlier. And then there's another one that saves another like 5 or 6, in which you actually get a proxy off of the small turtle fodder that's just to the left.
Yeah.
I think Wed's the only person who
Yeah,
goes.
I'm
That
the
one's
only
really
person
hard.
who goes for that.
Yeah.
Alright, this thief catch is pretty cool. Kind of glide off the edge, juke him so that he turns around and then come back in. And then the name of the game in Desert Ruins is Scorpion Proxies.
Yeah, Scorpion proxies are probably the weirdest proxy that we do
Yeah.
in the run.
Kind
Yeah.
of unique.
They're actually quite easy as well. You more or less just want to walk around the scorpion, and then whenever they hit you with their tail, you'll get a proxy.
Yeah. Yeah, their tail kind of comes downwards when they try and hit you, and you squeeze yourself underneath it and get pushed outwards. And then we'll do another one here after speaking to Lara.
You can also
Or Tara,
crash.
sorry.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
soft
you
lock,
can
I guess.
soft lock here.
Soft lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's through it though, so no worries.
There we go.
Nice.
Oh, that was really
It's
nice.
a good proxy. If you get a smaller one, you can still save it by taking a damage boost off of one of the bigger scorpions through the wall, but no need.
Yep, that was good. See if I can get Hovelus here.
Yep.
Easy. And now we come to the 2D platformer section of the run. This really just comes down to understanding Sheila's physics and optimizing movement. There's a cycle on one of the this thing here that I'll catch. Oops. That doesn't save time. It's just swag. And yeah, if you kill those enemies, the floor immediately stops being harmful. So you just hit them on the way down and don't need to worry about it.
So there's only 2 more levels left after this. Normally we'd have to do 5 in each world, but there's no need to do Agent 9 because as soon as we get 100 eggs, we can go fight the boss.
The next level coming up has probably the hardest side area in the game.
At least for casual players.
For
yeah.
casual,
It's-
yeah.
I mean, it's hard to do fast as well, but it's doable. There's actually a bunch of little time savers in the level before tanks as well. So hopefully I'll get all those. So at the very start, there's a door that you hit a switch on the floor and the door goes down to let you into the next area. And if you stand on the door as it comes back up, you can jump to the end of the level. But I'll try and do a slightly faster thing.
Nice.
Nice,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, skipping to the end of the level with the door is pretty trivial, but doing it fast is actually really difficult, so good job.
Yeah. When we're able to get it while the door is still going down, we call that task or skip.
Oh, wow. All right. Haven't done that in a while.
Like
so
the
you have
slide
to,
so much.
Yeah, you have to jump really early to skip getting on this slide, and for some reason I didn't. That also means I can't do the... I have
Proxy.
to lose a little bit of time here as well, because normally you'd run back up the slide and go for this. No.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even can get
I
it
don't
when
think
go
you
from that
can. I think it
direction.
requires him to be in a good spot.
Yeah. But yeah, now we have tanks. And if I mess this up, Nerf will never let me live it down. So.
Yeah, so there's 2 rounds of tanks here. The first one, there's only 4 tanks, so this one isn't too hard. The second round, there's going to be 10, and they're going to be all spread out on the different side areas and stuff, so this can be really challenging.
Oh, come on.
You may not.
Alright, so this is the harder one.
Such a brave
I shoot a shot at the start there because sometimes the first shot you shoot in tanks just doesn't do anything. Like it'll just hit the enemy and not damage them.
Yeah, strafing is the fastest form of movement in this game, just strafing left or right with L or R. You want to be strafing at all times in tanks.
That was alright, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not bad.
Fine.
I find it very hard to not take at least like 1 damage there somewhere.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm kind of supposed to take an intentional hit in Tanks 1 to kind of push me, but I didn't get that, so still have gold somehow.
All right, so Dino Mines is the last level before Sorceress. There's going to be a proxy here to skip the level.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Axle Proxy?
Dynamines has one of the most interesting routes in terms of like how we do things. What we're doing is actually squeeze proxy, so we can actually go over this a little bit more.
Yep.
Now, first, what we have to do to get there, though, is kind of go out of bounds in a way. Do you want to say?
Yeah, you get on some scenery that you're not supposed to stand on.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah.
And to do that requires doing this window jump here, which is kind of angle specific.
It is, I think.
But aside from that, it's holding square and X, and then the game just gives you another jump. And here's the axle proxy.
You can wedge Spyro here in between.
I'm just going to try that again.
Axle.
There we go.
Yeah,
See, if you run left axle, this wouldn't happen.
Please.
yeah exactly. Orsa understands.
Yeah. So you do have to go around there. If you just drop into the jail cell, then the NPC won't talk to you. He'll only talk to you and give you the egg if you actually break the wall to let him out.
And then the rest is just going through the level backwards to get all the other eggs. Well, some of the other eggs.
I believe compared to going through the level forwards, getting all of that stuff fast is about 12.5 seconds faster.
Yeah, this is the easier water tunnel compared to the one in Seashell, because you don't actually have to hit the enemies. In Seashell
Yeah.
you do, otherwise you fail.
We didn't talk about the water tunnel at all, but the controls in here are not good. Like, they're really delayed. Like, you press left and it takes ages for him to actually do anything. You don't have to kill that enemy.
If you do kill the enemies, you get a skill point, though.
Yeah. Makes a good sound effect. Alright. And then just have to backtrack a bit to get the egg in the water. Alright, and that should be egg number 100.
Yep.
Okay. Just leaves the final boss then.
Yep. Yeah, we have to actually beat the game now. Sorcerer's Fight is random and hard, so...
Yeah, there are a lot of random elements to this, but it's also very skill intensive. It's the
Yeah.
worst kind of final boss.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can be good or bad at it, but even if you're really good, you'll sometimes just get random, it's still dependent on luck.
Yeah. You can set it up perfectly to get like the best kind of final boss, but you still only have around like a 50% chance of it actually working.
Yeah. So the structure, this fight is intended to be done in 3 phases. The sorceress has 12 HP, so she takes 2 hits from the cannons, 4 hits from the tanks, and 6 hits from the UFOs. But if you're fast and lucky, you can sort of skip some cycles and get some extra vehicles as well, depending on how Agent 9 is feeling today.
Also notice that the music is wrong in this fight. That's a 1.0 thing. The real music is present on the disc, but for some reason it just doesn't play, and they play track number 1 instead, which is just the Sunrise Spring music.
I don't know, I think it's a lot more fitting for the final battle.
It's so strange.
It's quite intense.
So yeah, I got 2 hits with the first cannon, which isn't ideal, and I'm not getting an extra cannon, so it's not the best start.
So we're looking for 4 hits here on the tank, and then hopefully another tank if Agent 9 is being kind
Yeah,
today.
this is just luck, whether I get a tank or a UFO here. Where
Yeah, I
are you?
don't think you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
it.
it doesn't
Yeah,
look
no,
like
it's UFO. That's fine. So this is a pretty standard fight then. I'll have to do the UFO phase, get the rest of the hits.
Yep.
The
If you, get
reason-
if you get a tank drop, it's really nice because the UFO is constantly moving forward, so you have to be turning it around to hit her again. The tank, you can just park it right in front of her and just hit her 6 times.
Also, we'll be coming up on time
Yeah,
very shortly.
soon. Yeah, one more hit. And time.
56. So that was a 55.
That's a 55.
It's like a
actually.
55.
Yeah,
30 or
that's
something.
good.
That's, I don't believe that. No, that was cool.
Yeah.
Bit of issues at the start, but it went better towards the end.
You got Firefly.
I did. That's
Firefly.
that's amazing. I don't know how that happened. All right, cool. So I think we have Ape Escape next, which is
Yep.
really awesome. So
Everyone should stick around for that.
is he here? Is he here?